The 34-year-old father, whose last moments were caught in a McDonald's drive-thru, as hours later he was brutally killed and dumped in the boot of an abandoned car.
Matt, coming your way. Taser.
I'm appealing for anybody out there. Somebody must know what's happened to Justin. I just don't know where Justin could be. This is breaking me. This is breaking my family. This is breaking the community.
Items have been thrown behind you. 2140. We get a dog, but items have been thrown behind you, Jim.
This story takes place in Croydon, South London, an area that is among the top 20 most dangerous boroughs in London. I'll cover the disappearance of Justin Henry that led to the police coming across the remains of a calculated killing. But before I get into what happened, let's quickly look back at who exactly was Justin Henry. Justin, 34 years old, father to an 11-year-old son, was described as a kind, vibrant family man. He was not a large public figure, but was quite known in the Croydon area. Not too much is actually known about Justin in terms of public details and what he did for work or whether he had previous convictions. However, what is known is that one day Justin will go missing out of nowhere. CCTV will capture the last time Justin was seen, which was at a McDonald's drive-thru in Norbury. The recording shows Justin talking to the staff whilst receiving his food, but what no one would see coming is that within an hour of this recording, Justin would no longer exist. Justin would make his way to New Road, which is the address of 30-year-old Lewis Benjamin. The reason for Justin going to this address is still unknown, but his car was parked outside Benjamin's flat for over 2 hours. Something was going on in that flat, but what was certain is that Justin would not leave this flat alive. The altercation was said to be brutal, as blood splatters across the house came up in forensic reports, even though Benjamin had tried to clean the flat to get rid of any evidence. These next couple hours will be moments of calculations by Benjamin and another suspect, Jamal Ali Richards, on how to get rid of Justin's body. CCTV now showed Justin's Mercedes being driven away from New Road and eventually left on Kingswood Drive in Gypsy Hill. By the early hours of Monday 16th of October, Justin had essentially vanished. He then returned home to his girlfriend, which was something completely out of character. His family quickly realised something was wrong when Justin wasn't responding to calls or texts and none of his friends had seen him. Justin Henry was now officially reported missing by his family later that same day.
This is suspicious disappearance. Very unusual. This is the longest that I haven't seen or heard from Justin. It's 18 days today. I'm appealing for anybody out there. Somebody must know what's happened to Justin.
At first, Justin's disappearance was treated like any other missing person case. A man not returning home possibly means he's gone to clear his mind. But very quickly, detectives spotted inconsistencies. His phone was inactive, his bank cards were unused, and most importantly, his Mercedes was nowhere to be found. During this time, Lewis Benjamin and Jamal Ali Richards were making sure no evidence can link back to them. They cleaned up the entire flat, making sure to get rid of any sort of bloodstain or clothing that would link back to Justin. At this moment in time, it's not known what the pair have done with the body, but they're running on a tight schedule before police piece everything together. The police, after taking this missing report more seriously, managed to trace down Justin's car back to Kingswood Drive, where it had been abandoned. They didn't find Justin inside, but the car gave off one crucial clue. It had been moved whilst Justin was still missing. The police now realised this was a potential murder case, and the people involved were possibly trying to cover up their tracks. Over the next 3 weeks, Justin's case moved from a missing person inquiry to a suspected murder investigation, and on the 6th of November 2023, police discovered a hidden car parked off Dale Road in Purley. The car was fitted with false number plates and will flag up on the system. The police searched the car, but nothing was found until they opened up the boot and inside was the lifeless body of 34-year-old Justin Henry. This car was purchased for the sole purpose to dispose of a corpse, and now the police had to uncover how Justin's body ended up cramped in the boot of this abandoned car. The police now began searching through CCTV footage from Croydon, Norbury, Gypsy Hill and Purley. This was hundreds of hours of surveillance video, but not long after, they will spot the video of Justin Henry at McDonald's. Upon finding this footage, they tracked his movements all the way to Benjamin's address, which is when they will see Justin leaving the car and entering the flat. The key breakthrough came when CCTV showed Justin's car being driven from Benjamin's address to Kingswood Drive, but the only problem was Justin was not the person behind the wheel. That meant that someone else had possession of his car, and now all the eyes were on the resident of the flat, Louis Benjamin. Forensic teams were dispatched to Benjamin's flat, but found the property in a very odd condition. Detectives noted evidence of a hurried cleanup, freshly scrubbed floors, chemical smells, and items removed from the flat. But more importantly, they spotted small blood splatters that the pair had missed when cleaning up the flat. This was revealed as Justin's blood. On the other side of the investigation, police also tracked the second suspect, Jamal Ali Richards, who was connected to Benjamin and seen moving weirdly in the days following Justin's disappearance. Like Benjamin, Jamal had ties to gang activity and criminal networks. Police had already linked Benjamin and Ali Richards to the second vehicle that had Justin's body in the boot. This car was traced and had been seen near both Benjamin's flat and the eventual dumping site in Purley. All the evidence was pointing to these two suspects, and now it was time to get them in handcuffs. Benjamin was arrested first on the 24th of October 2023. When police entered his flat, he attempted to flee and ran into the back garden. He dashed his phone in order to break it and get rid of any evidence, but this phone would later become a critical piece of evidence, linking him to Justin Henry's last known whereabouts. In the body cam footage, you can see the police barge into the flat and chase down Benjamin. They would later realise that the phone was thrown away and would go on to collect it.
Items have been thrown behind you.
My phone has been thrown behind you.
2140. We get a dog, but items have been thrown behind you, Jim.
Rest necessary to
Mate,
prevent harm.
I'm going to lift you up,
To
bro,
investigate the offences.
because obviously you've been put to the floor and we'll check for any injuries, alright? On the count of three, I'm going to need you to push up against me. Come on, mate. Just lift.
Ali Richards surrendered a few days later in late October. Both of them were initially charged with murder, but as the case was building up, it seemed that the charge of murder might be harder to prove than the police initially thought. You see, to be guilty of murder, the defendant must have actually committed the act and had the intention to kill. The only problem with this is that no one actually knows what happened in that flat. Yes, Justin Henry died inside that flat, but the question that would arise is, did the suspect intentionally kill Justin? The murder trial for Louis Benjamin and Jamal Ali Richards began at the Old Bailey in early 2024. For Justin Henry's family, it was the moment they've been waiting for, the chance to finally hear the full truth of what happened to their son, brother and father. The Crown Prosecution Service presented a detailed timeline of Justin's final hours, from the CCTV footage of the McDonald drive-thru to Wider New Road outside of Benjamin's flat where his car was parked for over 2 hours. Forensic evidence inside the flat, including blood traces invisible to the naked eye but revealed with luminol, confirmed that Justin had been there and attacked. The prosecution's main argument was that Benjamin and Ali Richards killed Justin inside that flat, then began to plan on how to cover it up. They presented the discovery of Justin's body inside a car boot in Purley. The prosecution described the killing as a calculated and brutal execution carried out not in the heat of the moment but in cold blood. Both Benjamin and Ali Richards pled not guilty to murder. The defense team for Benjamin argued that there was no direct evidence tying him to the killing itself. They suggested that while Justin may have died inside the flat, Benjamin could not be proven to have delivered the fatal blows. At most, they claimed he had panicked afterwards and been involved in the cover-up. Ali Richards' defense painted him as a peripheral figure, A man caught up in Benjamin's world, but not responsible for Justin's death. His barrister argued he may have helped move the body out of fear, but had not participated in the killing. Both defences relied on pointing out that there was no murder weapon recovered and no eyewitnesses to the attack. But the prosecution countered that the forensic evidence was overwhelming, and the coordinated lies between Benjamin and Ali Richards showed conscious guilt. The jury convicted both Louis Benjamin and Jamal Ali Richards of manslaughter instead of murder, and both were also convicted of perverting the course of justice for their roles in the cover-up. You see, the jury's reasoning was that while Justin's death was caused by conduct connected to Benjamin and Ali Richards, the prosecution had not proven beyond reasonable doubt that either man had the necessary guilty intent for murder. After the verdict, Louis Benjamin was sentenced to 20 years in prison. This was broken down as 14 years for manslaughter and 6 years for perverting the course of justice by cleaning up the evidence. Jamal Ali Richards was sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison, which was broken down as 5 years 6 months for manslaughter and 3 years for perverting the course of justice. It's honestly insane that these two men were able to avoid life sentences even though they shoved the lifeless body of Justin Henry in the boot after they killed him inside that flat. It's not exactly known what happened in that flat, but for the pair of them to bleach and clean up the apartment so that they won't be linked to the death and get away with manslaughter is just insane to me. Justin's family issued a statement stating, "Justin was a kind, loving and vibrant soul, whose life was taken far too soon. The pain of his disappearance and the unimaginable circumstances surrounding his death had left a void in our lives that can never be filled. No verdict can ever bring him back to us or ease the sorrow we carry every day." There's still massive question marks around this case as to why Justin initially went to Benjamin's house and who killed him. But I guess the biggest question that will never be answered is what exactly happened inside that flat.